So what's cool, guys? It's your boy Noah the Beast back here again on YouTube, and today, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my reactions to the first week of the NFL season. So let's get started, guys. If you guys have not already, make sure that you guys smash that subscribe button, turn on that little bell notification, and share this video with somebody that you know. And if you guys are a big football fan like I am, make sure that you guys smash that like button. Alright, so let's get into going and reacting to these games. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, we had my Philadelphia Eagles beating the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, this game was awesome. I enjoyed pretty much every single moment of this game. I know this game was a lot closer than I thought it would be, because in my prediction video, I had the Eagles crushing the Cowboys like 35 to 10, but I got that score completely wrong. But I mean, like, this game though, it was great. It was nice and close, but let's talk about the beginning of this game. And so not even it's before a play was started. Dak Prescott spit in Jalen Carter's this direction, and then Jalen Carter goes up to Dak and literally spits right in his face, and then he ends up getting thrown out right out of the game. It's right before the first play of the game, and so I mean that was dirty, man. Like, I honestly think that obviously Carter was super dirty. He should have never spit on Dak in the first place. That was super mean and super dirty, and that's coming from me as an Eagles fan. Like, bro, like, you can't be doing that in the first game of the season. You just simply cannot be doing that, especially coming off of a Super Bowl win. I mean, that is just terrible. But obviously, I'm proud of my Philadelphia Eagles. They were able to get the job done here. I mean, obviously, we didn't play our best game, but we still found a way to win, and that is what championship teams do. But let's take a look at these stats. So obviously, my boy Jalen Hurts led the Eagles both in passing yards and in rushing yards. He went 19 for 23 passing for 152 yards. He had 14 carries, 62 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And so I mean, Jalen Hurts balled out, dude. Like, he played like an MVP tonight. He had an amazing game. And then also, if you look at Saquon also had a great game. He did have a rushing touchdown in the at the end of the second quarter. He played really well, Saquon. He also got me 18 points on fantasy, which I'm super grateful for. But obviously, this game was awesome. It had everything, you know, offense, defense, just everything was awesome about this game. And there was also a weather delay as well in this game, which was pretty weird because, like, literally this game started off like a shootout, dude. Like, bro, both of these teams were going at it in the first half. I think it was 21-20 Eagles. It's like, you know, like, going into the half, but basically after halftime and after that, it's weather delay. There was only 3 points scored in the entire second half. But let's take a look at some other stats here. So obviously, if you look at the Cowboys, Dak Prescott had a good game as well. He passed for 100, and also 188 yards. Guys, I can't freaking talk today. And then he also completed 21 out of 34% of his passes. And if you look at rushing, Javonte Williams had 15 carries and 2 touchdowns. It's for about 54 yards. And then if you look at receiving, that was obviously led. It's by CeeDee Lamb. He had 100 yards and 7 interceptions as well. But guys, I mean, let's talk about CeeDee Lamb, bro. I mean, this guy in the second half, he could not catch a ball to save his life, bro. This guy was dropping everything that was being thrown at him. And I think CeeDee Lamb was single-handedly sold Dallas this game because, to be totally honest, the Cowboys had a chance to win this game. They put up a really good fight against my team. And if CeeDee Lamb were to catch at least a few of those passes, to be honest, Dallas could have realistically won this game. But obviously, my Philadelphia Eagles found a way to win, and they start off their season 1-0. So these are all my thoughts for the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles kickoff game. Now, moving on, we will be reacting to the Friday night game in Brazil between the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. And this is another game I actually got right. I mean, Justin Herbert played phenomenal, dude. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in every which way possible. I mean, like, dude, Herbert was clutch. He was making amazing throws. He was wheeling and dealing. Like, I mean, Herbert had a great game. And then if you look at the Chargers defense, their defense was also, it's amazing as well. Like, I mean, they only allowed the Kansas City Chiefs, to drop 21 points. They only held Kansas City's offense to, I think, 6 points until like the third or fourth quarter. I forget. But I mean, dude, they shut down Kansas City's offense really good. And I'm really proud of the Chargers. I picked them to win this game. Shout out to my friend John, who's a huge Chargers fan. He went to my house to watch this game with me, and it was awesome. This was one of the best games of the entire weekend. I enjoyed each and every single moment of it, and I'm just so happy that the Chiefs lost. And, I just don't think, like I said in my prediction video, like, Kansas City doesn't look like a true Super Bowl team. Like when you see them out there on the field, they just look like a team that's broken. They just look like a team that's like doesn't even want to be out there, or looks like a team that's not even trying. But I'm not trying to say that as a cocky Eagles fan, but obviously Kansas City just doesn't look like a Super Bowl team. Like, they look really bad out there in this game. But let's take a look at stats. So obviously, if you look at Justin Herbert, he passed for 318 yards. He went 25 for 34 passing, and he also had 3 touchdowns. If you look at Patrick Mahomes' stats, he went 24 for 39 passing, 258 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, both quarterbacks, obviously Patrick Mahomes, he didn't really have the worst game of his life, but I mean, he was still missing a lot of easy throws. But then if you look at Justin Herbert, he only missed, 9 of his passes. So, I mean, Justin Herbert completely outplayed Patrick Mahomes. And then if you look at rushing yards, right? It's Amarion Hampton, which is the Chargers rookie running back who they drafted out of North Carolina. He had a pretty solid game. He had 15 carries. It's for about 48 yards. And then obviously Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs in rushing yards. He had 6 carries, 57 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, this game was awesome, bro. I enjoyed it. I mean, to me, Kansas City only had like a couple big plays. I mean, they had like 1 touchdown to Travis Kelce that went for 30 yards. They like kicked this field goal right before halftime. It's to cut the Chargers lead to 7. And then basically after that, they didn't really have a lot of big, huge plays. But I mean, it's the Chargers just dominated this game. They outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs in every which way possible. I know the score may not look like it, but the Chargers outplayed them in every which way. And like, even the Chiefs didn't have a single lead in this game. Like, if you guys watch this game, the Kansas City Chiefs did not lead once in this game. So that's pretty wild. But great win for the LA Chargers, and they start off their season 1-0. And this was the most perfect week 1 because 2 of my least favorite teams, the Chiefs and the Cowboys, both lost. And so I'm so happy about that. But anyways, let's get into the next game here. So the next game that we are going to be reacting to is this game, the Dolphins and the Colts. Holy shit. The Miami Dolphins lose against Daniel freaking Jones, of all people. Daniel Jones should be working at a fucking PetSmart picking up dog shit, bro. Daniel Jones should be working at PetSmart picking up poop. But, dude, Daniel, they like it's the Dolphins made Daniel Jones literally look like prime Peyton Manning and prime Tom Brady out there. Like, dude, they made him look like freaking prime Tom Brady out there. Like, I mean, they allowed him to pass for 20. He went 22 for 29, 272 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean, bro, that's like a Tom Brady level game. Like, they made Daniel Jones look like freaking prime Peyton Manning out there. Like, it was insane. And then Tua, oh my gosh, Tua was horrendous, bro. He had like a fumble, I think. I'm not sure. Okay, it doesn't say he had a fumble. I thought he fumbled, but he threw 2 interceptions and he only had 114 yards passing. I mean, Tua was horrendous in this game, dude. Tua was absolutely awful. He played the worst game of his career. I mean, Tyreek Hill, I know he led the team in receiving yards, but dude, he only had 4 receptions for like 40 yards. I think in the first half, I don't think Tyreek Hill had a single catch in the first half. But, I mean, just the Dolphins were just horrendous in this game. This is the worst I've ever seen them look. I mean, obviously, Tua had the worst game of his career. He looked like freaking, I don't know how to describe him, bro. Like, it looked like he was seeing ghosts out there, dude. Like, if you're the Dolphins, I would give Tua a freaking Chuck E. Cheese application. Like, dude, he was horrible. Tua played the worst game of his entire career on Sunday. And then if you look at the Colts, I mean, obviously, if you look at the rushing yards, Jonathan Taylor had 18 carries. That's for about 71 yards. Again, he had a solid game. He didn't have a touchdown, but he got me some solid points on fantasy. He got me 12.8 points, so not terrible. And then if you look at Michael Pittman, he had a great game. He had 6 receptions for about 80 yards and 1 touchdown. He had a great game. But let's take a look at some other stats here. So it looks like the Dolphins did bench Tua at some point and they put in Zach Wilson. If you're the Dolphins, I wouldn't start Tua or Zach Wilson. I would put in Quinn Ewers. Put in Quinn Ewers. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's the quarterback out of Texas that they just drafted in the draft this year. So they should start Quinn Ewers. I don't care, dude, because both of these quarterbacks are hot garbage. And then obviously, if you look at the rest of their stats, like if you look at Jalen Waddle, he only had 4 receptions. It's for 30 yards. But I mean, what a terrible performance pitched by the Dolphins. And then if you look at the Colts, I mean, obviously, Tyler Warren went off. He had 7 receptions for 76 yards. I had him on fantasy. He went berserk for me, dude. He had a great game. I'm going to be starting Tyler Warren every single game from now on in fantasy, dude. He had a great game. But that's enough talking about this game. Amazing win for the Colts. Daniel freaking Jones, man. You have my respect, bro. You do not deserve to be working at PetSmart anymore. You are a legit NFL quarterback. But great win for the Colts. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game that we are going to be giving a reaction to is this game, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. I was surprised that this game was really high scoring. I mean, this is one of the best games of the weekend. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, dude, holy moly. I thought this dude was washed. I thought this dude was old. I thought this dude was just freaking ass now. But guys, Aaron Rodgers looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers, bro. He balled out in this game. He wanted to get his revenge on his former team, and he did just that. I mean, he went 22 for 30 passing, 244 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Talk about a game, man. This is classic prime 2009, 2010. Aaron Rodgers right here. Like that is MVP numbers right there. He balled out. And this guy is what, 41 years old, and he still put up numbers like that? Like, this guy is still playing like he's 22. Like, Aaron Rodgers still has it. You still have to respect Aaron Rodgers. You have to respect his game. As much as I don't like him as a person, dude, he had such an amazing game. On Sunday. And then if you look at the Jets side, if you look at Justin Fields had a great game too. I mean, he had like what, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. He threw for 218 yards and he went 16 for 22 passing. So that's still really good. And then if you look at the rushing yards, Breece Hall led the Jets in rushing yards. He had 19 carries. It's 107 yards. If you look at the Steelers, they had Jalen Warren lead them in rushing yards. It's 11 carries for about 37 yards. And then if you look at the receiving yards as well, they had Garrett Wilson, which Garrett Wilson absolutely went off for me in fantasy. He got me 22.5 points. And he had 7 receptions for 95 yards and 1 touchdown. And then obviously DK Metcalf had a great game as well. But this game was awesome. This game was a shootout from the first quarter all the way to when the clock hit 0 in the fourth quarter. Like, this game had everything. Offense, defense, everything, dude. This game was awesome. It was one of the best games of the entire weekend. I do think, though, that obviously, if the Jets just kicked field goals instead of trying to go for 2 all the time, I think that the Jets could have low-key won this game. But obviously, this is a great win. That's by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am a little concerned about their defense, but I'm pretty sure they'll be able to fix that. But this was overall a great win by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's enough of me talking about that game. It was one of the best games of the entire weekend. I really have nothing else to say about that. All right, up to the next game, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game was weird because this did have a weather delay. Like I think there was thunder and lightning, and they had to go and postpone this game for, I think, like 30 minutes or something like that. I forget. But this game was a beatdown, dude. I mean, Bryce Young looked like his rookie self once again. I mean, Bryce Young struggled mightily in this game. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions. He only had 154 yards passing, and he went 18 for 35. So he had a pretty bad game. And then if you look at Trevor Lawrence, he went 19 for 31, 178 yards passing, and 1 touchdown. So still pretty solid game from Trevor Lawrence. But, you know, this game was boring. There's really nothing else to say besides there was just a weather delay and that this game was boring. One more thing I have to say about this game. I kind of want to talk about Travis Hunter. I mean, Travis Hunter, he played okay in this game. I think he had what? Let me see his stats. He had like, let me see. Jaguars. Let me check Travis Hunter's stats. So Travis Hunter had 6 receptions for about 33 yards. So again, not a terrible debut, but obviously I think the more and more he goes and develops, I think Travis Hunter is going to be a stud in this league. So overall, great win by the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is one of the snooze fest games of this week. Really nothing else to say. All right, moving on to the next game. Next game we have here is, if I can find it, we have the Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. And I think the Saints put up a really good fight in this game. I mean, I was expecting the Cardinals to beat them by more, but I think the Saints defense played really well in this game. There was little to no offense in this, but I think everybody was expecting the Arizona Cardinals to win this. If you look at Kyler Murray's stats right here, he went 21 for 29 passing, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Kyler Murray, again, had a good game. If you look at the receiving yards, it was led by Marvin Harrison Jr. He had 5 receptions for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. So this was overall a great win by the Cardinals. I mean, I think everybody was expecting them to win this, no shock, because, you know, obviously the Saints are one of the worst teams in the NFL. But there's really nothing else to say here. This game was absolutely boring. I mean, like, honestly, who the hell watched this? I think only, like, 2 people on planet Earth probably watched this game. Like, it was so boring, dude. Like, I did not even look at this game because I was expecting it to be boring. And guess what? It was. So there really isn't nothing else to say. But let's move on to the next game. The next game that we will be giving our thoughts to is the Washington Redskins, or Washington Commanders. I still call them just the Washington Redskins. We have the Washington Redskins versus the New York Giants. I mean, in my prediction video, I said that the Giants would put up a way better fight. I was totally wrong, dude. I mean, like, the Giants looked horrible in this game, dude. Like, I mean, like, obviously, I think their defense played all right, considering they only held the Washington Commanders to only 21 points, but their offense looks horrendous. I mean, like, obviously, Russell Wilson was terrible. If you're the Giants, I would bench Russell Wilson right now and start Jackson Dart this for the rest of the season. It's just because Russell Wilson looks horrible. He did not have a great game whatsoever. He went 17 for 37 and he only passed for 168 yards. I mean, Russell Wilson was putrid in this game. They have to start Jackson Dart for the rest of the year if you are just the New York Giants. If you look at the Giants' its receiving yards, it was obviously led by Neighbors. He had 5 receptions and 71 yards. I like Neighbors a lot, dude. He's a stud. He just needs a better quarterback. But I think if the Giants, if they can plug in Jackson Dart, I think their offense is going to look a lot better because, you know, obviously Russell Wilson hasn't been the same player ever since he left the Seahawks. We all know that. But, you know, this was a horrible performance. This by the Giants. Again, I'm not shocked because they are just the New York Giants, and the New York Giants always freaking suck. So, again, not surprised. Now, let's talk about Washington. Now, Washington, to be honest, in my opinion, they didn't really play their best game. But they outplayed this New York Giants team in every which way possible. Obviously, you had my boy Jaden Daniels doing his thing. He went 19 for 13, 233 yards and 1 tutty. I mean, he had a typical Jaden Daniels game. He had a very solid game. I mean, he didn't have the best game of his life, but he did what he needed to do in order for the Washington Redskins to win this game. And then if you look at their rushing yards, if you look at Washington's rushing yards, it was led by this guy, Ja'Cory Trosky Merritt. I don't know who the hell that is, but dang, he had 10 carries, 82 yards and a touchdown. Okay, solid game. But then Deebo Samuel led their team in receiving yards. I'm surprised that wasn't Terry, but Deebo had a great game, dude. It looks like Deebo has lost some weight, not gonna lie, because when I was watching this game, he looks a lot faster. He looks like, you know, 2021 Deebo again. But obviously, Deebo Samuel had a great game. He had 7 missed receptions. Let me check his full stats. So Deebo, let's check his rushing stats. Let's check his rushing, or never mind. Let's see, rushing stats for Deebo Samuel. So Deebo Samuel, in the entire game, he had probably about, like, I would say 86 yards, 7 missed receptions, and then also, well, no, not 86. Gosh, I can't do fucking math right now. But Deebo had a great game. I had him on fantasy, but unfortunately, he was on my bench, so that sucks. But overall, man, great win by Washington. They didn't really play their best game, but they still found a way to win. And I still think Washington is definitely a top contender in the NFC. All right, so that's enough talking about that game. Let's move on to the next one. The next game that we have here, I love this game. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. I just finished watching the highlights of this game, and let me say, this game was awesome. I enjoyed it. I mean, this game had everything. It was a classic NFC West showdown. Great game. If you look at Baker Mayfield, I mean, he went 17 for 32. 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, great game by him. Look at Michael Penix, and also another great game by him. But this game was awesome. Another person I want to roast in this game is the Falcons kicker. Like, bro, like literally the Falcons kicker missed, I think an extra point and then a field goal or something. I forget. But I still can't believe that the Falcons kicker choked that field goal, bro. Because if he made that, I think Atlanta could have won this game. But obviously, Tampa Bay won. They outplayed Atlanta. This was a great win for them. This was definitely one of the best games of week 1. So that's really enough talking about this game. There wasn't really anything too crazy about this. Also, another thing I want to say, one last thing. Pitameka and Buka, the Buccaneers wide receiver, Mr. Rookie, he had two wide receiving touchdowns. I mean, he already looks like a stud. I think he could win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know it's only game 1, but if he keeps playing like this, man, he definitely could win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. But Tampa Bay looks like a great team. They could definitely go on a deep playoff run this year. But overall, man, great win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, the next game that we will be reacting to is we have the Battle of Ohio, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. I mean, this game was very sloppy. I mean, there was little to no offense played in this game. I mean, the thing about the Browns is, though, like, the Browns could have won this game if they made that field goal. I think it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth. And then basically their kicker misses a field goal. Cleveland choked this game hard, but obviously this is a pick I got wrong. But I mean, Cincinnati finally wins in week 1. If you look at Joe Burrow, he didn't really have the best game, but he did what he needed to do to get the job done. But this was an overall solid win for the Cincinnati Bengals. They finally win in week 1, and they start off their season on the right track. But this was overall a pretty good game. I watched the highlights of this as well. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty solid game. But, great win for the Cincinnati Bengals. But let's move on to the next game, guys. The next game that we will be reacting to is the Las Vegas Raiders and the Patriots. Again, this was another pick that I got wrong. This was overall a great game. I mean, obviously it was, I know the score may not look like it, but I mean, this game was pretty fun to watch. I mean, obviously, if you look at the Patriots, they did struggle, but I don't think their season is completely cooked. But this was a great win by by the Raiders. If you look at Ashton Genty, he had a rushing touchdown. He had 38 yards rushing and 19 carries. Then if you look at Brock Bowers, he had five interceptions for about 103 yards. So this was a great game for for the Raiders. I think they look like a pretty solid team so far, and they start off their season on the right track. As for the Patriots, like I said earlier, they're not completely cooked. I still think Drake May is a good quarterback, but we'll see about next week, because if they can't beat the Dolphins, then they might be in trouble. But obviously, good win for the Las Vegas Raiders. There's really nothing else to say about this game, because I don't know who the heck watched this. I mean, I watched bits and pieces of this, but that's about it, dude. Like, I didn't really pay attention to this one, but that's enough reacting to this game. All right, the next game that we got here, if I can pull it up, if my computer can stop being weird, is we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks. Again, pretty boring game. I was expecting this game to be a lot more high scoring, but this is a pick that I got right. I said that San Francisco would win, and they did. I mean, San Francisco played a really good game. I mean, obviously losing George Kittle in this game is going to hurt their offense, but I honestly think that Brock Purdy had a solid game, Christian McCaffrey had a solid game. The 49ers offense looked pretty decent, but then if you look at their defense looks great. I know they lost a lot of players on defense in the offseason, but guys, their defense looks really, 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 really good. And this was overall a great win by the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, I still think their defense looks good. I think if they can get George Kittle back soon, I think that this offense is going to be humming like it usually does. And then if you look at Seattle, Sam Darnold, he didn't really play a terrible game. I mean, obviously he didn't have two turnovers, but he went 16 for 23 passing, and he had 150 yards. So again, not the worst game, but there was little to no offense in this. Oh, also on Brock Purdy stats, I forgot to say that he threw for 2 interceptions, but good win for the 49ers. They didn't play their best game, but they still found a way to get the job done and start off their season 1-0. All right, so that's all I gotta say about this game. All I gotta say about that. Oh my god. Alright guys, sorry about that. I just had to do something downstairs. But anyways, the next game that we are going to be reacting to is the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. Listen, this game, bro, Denver did not really look good. I was expecting Denver to win. It's by a lot more points, but I do give Tennessee credit. Tennessee put up a really good fight, especially on defense. This was a defensive masterclass. There was like literally no offense played in this game. But I mean, Cam Ward didn't look terrible. Bo Nix had a pretty bad game. I mean, he went 24 for 40, 176 yards, and only 1 touchdown. I mean, this game was a snooze fest. I don't know who the hell watched this, but I didn't really watch it, so there's nothing really to react to, but this was a pretty boring game. I don't know who the hell watched this. Probably only like 5 people on this freaking planet watched that game. All right, the next game that we will be reacting to right here is we have the Green Bay Packers destroying the Detroit Lions. I mean, I was expecting this game to be a shootout, and this was another pick I got wrong. I mean, if you look at the Lions, I get it. They have 2 new coordinators, so it's going to take them a while to get their offense truly going. But, I mean, Green Bay just blew the doors off of this Lions team. I mean, if you look at the Lions, they look like the Lions of old. Like their offense couldn't get anything going. Their defense was getting torched left and right. I mean, Green Bay just carved them up, offensively, defensively, everything. And if you look at Micah Parsons, since this was his debut with the Packers, Micah Parsons had a really good game. Let's pull up his stats. So if we go down to defense, if we look at Micah Parsons, we have to go to the Packers. If we go to Micah Parsons had a good game. I mean, he did put a lot of pressure on Jordan Love. He also, not on Jordan Love. He put a lot of pressure on Jared Goff. He had obviously 1 sack. He had a lot of pressures as well. So solid debut for Micah Parsons, but this was a great win for the Green Bay Packers. I was not expecting this. I was expecting a much closer game, but man, Green Bay just dominated them from the first quarter all the way up to the end of the game. Straight up belt to ass. All right. Up next, guys, again, another snoozer. I was expecting this game to be much more high scoring, but we have the Houston Texans versus the LA Rams. As you can see, the Rams won this game 14-9. Again, nothing else to say here. Absolute snooze fest. Absolutely no offense was played in this game. I mean, both quarterbacks, they didn't really play like the worst game of their life. But, this was a snooze fest, bro. Like, I was expecting this game to be a lot more high scoring and a lot more, gets electric, but this was a snooze fest, bro. I have nothing else to say about this game. But up next, guys, I'm going to be talking about this game for a while. This is hands down the game of the year, like no question. We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills, and let me tell you, holy crap, this was probably one of the best football games that I've ever watched in my life. Like, we all thought when the Ravens were up 40-25 that they had this game in the bag. But the Bills came back and won this game with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they won. Like, the turning point of this game was when Derrick Henry had that fumble. That fumble single-handedly gave it's the Bills this game. I mean, guys, like, Derrick Henry, man, get yourself a freaking PetSmart application, bro. Like, come on, you can't be fumbling like that. I mean, obviously, Derrick Henry balled out. Both of these quarterbacks did. But it's like, Derrick Henry, man, you were having one of the best games of your life, and then you sell it like that. Like, I mean, guys, like, come on, dude. Like, that is horrible. Like, Derrick Henry literally sold the Ravens this game. But you got to give credit to Josh Allen. Josh Allen had the best game of his entire career. He passed for 394 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let me look at the rest of his stats, because I'm pretty sure Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown as well. Did he? Yes, dude, he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 and I believe, well, actually, I think he only had 2 rushing touchdowns, and then he had like I'm pretty sure 2 passing touchdowns as well. But Josh Allen, he had the best game of his life, dude. Absolute beast. He could win back-to-back MVPs, dead ass. But Josh Allen is unbelievable. If you look at Lamar, he also had an unbelievable game as well. He had 1 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, and he passed for 209 yards. I mean, you got to give Jackson credit. He had a great game as well, but Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen could deadass win back-to-back MVPs, but this was the best football game I've ever watched. It had the most unbelievable ending that I've ever seen. This is hands down, the game of the year. But I enjoyed every single moment of this game. I've watched the highlights of this at least 3 or 4 times already, but absolutely amazing game. Cinema. Alright guys, then this will be our last game that we will be going and reacting to for this video. We had Monday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. I mean, this game was great. I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, the first half was pretty boring because I believe the Bears were up like 17-6, and then they just blew the game away. But, I mean, Caleb Williams, in the first half, Caleb did look good. Like, I think the Bears offense looked really good in the first half, but then in the second half, the Bears just completely collapsed, bro. Like, I think they only scored 1 more time for like the rest of the game, and I think it was a pick 6. I forget. But, you know, the Bears just completely collapsed. They blew a 17-6 lead, and they allowed, it's the Minnesota Vikings, you know, just to score, I think, what, like 21, they scored 21 unanswered points. Like, that is insane. But if you look at J.J. McCarthy, he had a great debut. I know he was a little bit shaky in the first half, but J.J. McCarthy balled out in the second half. He was awesome for his debut. I mean, he went into Chicago and got that dub, man. I'm so happy for I'm so happy for him, man. He had a great debut. He went 13 for 20, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he did have a pick 6. But I mean, other than the pick 6, he played phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this game was fun. I really liked it. I didn't really watch the full game, but I watched bits and pieces of it. It was great, dude. And the thing about the Bears, man, Caleb Williams is still horrible, bro. I mean, I know in the first half he was good, but the second half he just completely collapsed, dude. Like, dude, the Bears are just cursed. Like, I feel so bad for their fans, guys. I really do. But again, guys, amazing win for the Minnesota Vikings. Amazing debut for also JJ Fitz McCarthy. But guys, this was an overall amazing week 1, and that is going to do it for my reactions to week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and share this video with somebody you know. But anyways, guys, it's your boy Noah the Beast. I am out. I will see you guys for my week 2 predictions. Let's go, baby. Y'all have a great day.